Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about religion, and I'm gonna piss some people off. All right, this is a Bible, New Testament, and I do believe in God. Don't worry, I'm not gonna open up the book and start quoting things from the Bible. All right, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna talk about suicide, swearing, temptation, terror, war, etc. I'm not going into none of that. All right, I believe in God. I'm gonna leave it right there. I believe in God from my personal perspective, and I'm gonna give you my personal perspective on God. So I talk to a lot of people, and every now and again I bump into a couple of people who just might be a touch more religious than me. Y'all know who you are. I'm not gonna loud cap you on Facebook or YouTube because that's not what I do. My job is not to make people's lives harder. I have enough problems of my own. I don't need to give other people problems. All right, so let's get that established right there. For you people who are overly religious or underly religious, I got a perplexing question for you. Why do you fear God? Y'all might not view this the way I view this, and I'm not judging you, so don't judge me, because only God can judge. And when I come to my judgment day with the good Lord, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have hell to pay. That's already in my head. I'm already sure for all the sins I've done, and no matter how many times I ask for forgiveness, I know that I have to answer for all the sins I've done. And I'm well prepared to meet my maker. Am I scared? No. What the fuck can I do? No. I'm going to get up there. I can't lie to him. I'm going to get up there and be shaken. I'm going to be a little nervous. I'm going to be nervous that he's going to say, James, you're not worthy, and I'm sending you to hell. And that's fine. Because there ain't nothing you can do if the good Lord decides you're going to hell. Guess what? You're going to hell. Now, what you do when you get down there is on you. And if I'm going to hell, I'm going down swinging. Let's not forget that the devil was one of God's first angels. So, if I got to go down there, I'll be damned. With all the hell and suffering I done had up here, that down there, I'ma suffer some more. Fuck that shit. I'm kicking the devil's ass, and hell will be mine. And I ain't gonna have no problem with God, but if that's what I'm gonna be in charge. It's just that damn simple. I'm gonna be in charge. Alright? No. Am I better than the devil? No. Am I better than God? Hell no. My arms and my legs ain't long enough to box with God. But I will tell you this. The devil is not God. He's not as powerful as God. God gave him power. God hadn't given him power, we wouldn't be in the situation we are now. He could have just popped the fucker out of existence and we'll all be running around naked and immortal. But that was too much like the right thing to do. So here's my thing. I'm not afraid of God. Alright? I respect God. I respect his power. And I know that he can end my life quicker than that. But you are not supposed to fear your creator. If you truly love God, why are you afraid of him? Or her? Whichever. I need to know. Because if I'm going to hell for not being afraid of God, I need to know why you guys fear him. So he can end your life like that. It didn't say if it would be painful or not. It just said that he can end your life like that. In a blink of an eye, you can die. Well, hell, anybody with a machine gun and a really good shot can end your life like that too. But the afterlife is a whole another level of life. And if God don't want you in heaven because you're not worthy, then you won't be there. You'll have to accept that. I have accepted that I am probably not worthy of God. But that does not give me a reason to fear him. I do not fear the Lord because the Lord is all things. The Lord is the creator of life. You should not fear the person that created life. You should respect, revel, and enjoy the life that he has given you. Even if it's as horrible as mine, I still thank God every night before I go to sleep. I probably should thank him more when I wake up, but I don't because my life hasn't changed. I'm working on changing my life. Other people's lives just keep bleeding into my lives, and it's what we consider a big old clusterfuck. But yeah, I'm a strong believer in respect God. I don't fear the creator. And a lot of religious people are going to watch this video and put me down, give me the finger and all this stuff. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you fear the one thing that created you, how can you say you love and worship something if you are afraid of it? God does not want you to be afraid of Him. He wants you to embrace Him. And if you are afraid of God, somewhere along the line, either I went to the wrong church, which I did because my preacher tried to drown me. They call it a baptism. But in the same note, I do not fear God. I fear His power. But I don't really fear that, because when you think about it, what can you do against a guy? If He wants you gone, you gone. Ain't a damn thing you can do about it but accept it. So no, I do not fear God. I respect God. I love God. Even though God has not made my life the easiest lives on the planet, I still love and respect God. No fear, because there's nothing I can do when I'm at His feet, at His mercy on Judgment Day. He already knows all the evil I've done, the good I attempted to do, the good I've done, and all the evil thoughts that have ever gone through my body about wishing people dead, doing stupid shit, praying for bad things to happen to people who have done me wrong. He knows all that shit. The only thing that's going to happen is when I get up there, He's either going to say go to heaven or go directly to hell. That's pretty much it. He's not going to. He only has two places He can send me unless He decides to play a cruel joke. I'm going to send you back to Earth as the ugliest pet on the planet to the ugliest chick on the planet who can't get a man, and you're going to be having to satisfy her even though you're going to be a dog and a female. So that's pretty much the worst thing that He can do to me, because hell, I've had a hell of a bad life. So sending me to hell, well, I guess I better learn how to swim in a sea of fire, have my skin burning. Well, there's good news on that, because I've had my skin burnt the fuck off. So I might be alright. But you can't fear your Creator. You're supposed to love and respect God. And if you fear God, how dare you look yourself in the mirror in the day and say, I love my Creator because I'm afraid of Him. You don't love something that you're afraid of. Oh, that's just like saying, I love grizzly bears. And I'm going to go and hug one, but I'm not scared of a grizzly bear. Yeah, that is true. That is like saying, I love grizzly bears, and I'm going to wander into the woods and grab a Kodiak by his nose and start playing with it. There's this between being smart and being a smart ass. That was me being a smart ass. I like grizzly bears too. I like them from a fucking distance. They are very beautiful and massive animals, and I've never seen one in real life. I've only seen them on TV and in the zoo, and maybe on Neutral Omaha's Wild Kingdom. But I can tell you right now, I'm not a fan of gentle Ben in real life. If I was lucky enough to raise it, that's a different story. But you can't really domesticate a wild animal to the full extent of domestication. Is remember, in its heart and soul, it's still a wild animal. You gotta know your limits. If you're raising it from a cub because you found it, like in Brother Bear or whatever, that's a different ballgame. You kind of gotta view God the same way. You can't stop God. It's just that simple. Once you accept that, there's nothing to fear. You can't stop God's will. If His will is for you to die, you're going to die. If it's your time, you're going to go. Now, what happens when you get there is the thing. The Bible itself, and I'm not going to grab that Bible and try to find it because I don't know where it is. A preacher once told me, yes, the same preacher did try to drown me, and yes, they called it a baptism. He told me that the Bible says, the good Lord says, he who believeth in me shall have everlasting life in the kingdom of heaven. So all I got to do is believe in this entity that gave me life, and I shall have everlasting life within His kingdom. That's not that difficult. It never says, the Bible says, thou shalt fear me, for what I create I can destroy. Now, it may say that, but I have talked to lots of people who know the Bible. They read the Bible backwards and forwards. And a lot of things in the Bible that they say, they still can't find and show me. So what do I do? Am I supposed to fear God because y'all all fear God? Or am I supposed to love and respect God and wait until the afterlife to see what the hell happens? Because that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna fear Him. I can't beat Him. So why should I fear Him? Fear is something that can be controlled. Fear is something that can be tested. What do I fear? I fear crashing. Not so much dying, but crashing in an airplane? Yeah, I fear that. I used to fear flying into a 6-year-old Canadian, Korean girl or Chinese girl, she was of Asian descent, on a plane with me many, many years ago. And she was talking to me with her coloring book, and I had got the window seat. And Her family was telling me, don't worry, she's a talker, and I was okay with it because it kept me calm. And she looked at me and said, I've been flying since I was a baby. She's still a baby. She's like 4 or 5 years old, maybe 6. Asians carry their age very well. And she goes, it's not the fall, it's the sudden stop that kills you. And I'm thinking to myself, from the mouths of babes, I haven't been afraid to fly since. No. Now, being on a plane as we're going down, that's a horse of a whole nother color. I'll probably be like this. I'll be screaming and everything. Don't know. Not trying to find out. But I will tell you this. I'm ready to meet my maker. I haven't killed anyone, so I got that going for me. I have beaten the hell out of quite a few people, so I got that going against me. I've tried to get forgiveness. Some people have forgiven me more than I should have and have told me that if I don't stop apologizing, they're going to shoot me. So I guess I need to stop apologizing. But you know when you do wrong, and you know when you do right. It's a whole lot easier to do wrong because no one wants to do the right thing. So no, I do not fear God. I will say I may be a little worried about the afterlife because I am not a saint and I have done some evil shit to other people. But I own it. I'm James Williams Jr. Be seeing you.